So on Le Podcast de Philippe, they mentioned this Carnegie Mellon University AI. Apparently, it generates these like incredibly realistic 3D Lego constructions.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
That's pretty mind-blowing stuff. Really makes you think about where this tech is going.
Exactly. And that's kind of why we wanted to dive deep today. We're looking at, AI and creativity, but specifically focusing on its role with Legos.
Right. And for this, we've pulled together some interesting material. We've got articles, IT Daily, WizKids talking Lego and AI.
Okay.
Plus some really lively Reddit discussions, user reactions. There's another thread about using AI to like rebuild old Legos. And the Brickit app comes up too.
Brickit, yeah.
And to broaden things out a bit, we'll touch on a study, I think it's from Morocco, looking at the bigger picture of AI's impact on, well, human creativity in general.
Got it. So the mission today is basically to understand what AI can do with Legos and, maybe more importantly, what that actually means for our own, creative spark. Let's start with Lego GPT. That seems to be a big one people are talking about. What is it, really?
So Lego GPT is essentially an AI model. It's been fed tons of Lego designs, instructions, all that. It learns patterns.
Okay.
And you can give it text like build a small red car, and it generates the Lego design for it. And the big thing, it's free for the public right now.
Free access, that always gets attention. But it's not just about making totally new stuff, right? I saw something about using AI with the bricks you already have.
Yeah, that's another angle. The idea that AI could look at your messy pile of bricks, we all have one.
Definitely.
And suggest things you could actually build with those specific pieces. That's kind of what the Brickit app does using your phone camera.
Right. Scans the bricks on the floor and then says, hey, you could build this.
Precisely. It uses image recognition. So it's less about generating from scratch like Lego GPT and more about suggesting possibilities based on what you physically own. It's kind of rediscovering your collection.
That's a neat distinction, seeing old things in a new way. But I also saw some initial reactions on Reddit were, well, not super impressed. Someone called the AI designs primitive.
Yeah, that comment came up. Primitive, like the older, simpler Lego sets with just the basic bricks.
Why do you think that is? Is the AI just not that advanced yet for complex builds?
It could be the training data. Maybe it learned a lot from those older, simpler models. So the output reflects that baseline. It raises questions about how well it handles modern Lego complexity and techniques right now.
But then you also had other Reddit users saying the opposite, like AI could unlock possibilities with Legos, much more positive spin.
Exactly. That's the other side. Even if the first attempts seem basic, the potential is there. Maybe AI could suggest combinations or building methods a human wouldn't think of, sort of like a creative partner, or at least a starting point.
Which brings us right to the core tension, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How does this affect our creativity? Because some people on Reddit jump straight to, like, this is the end of creativity for Lego. Why such a strong reaction?
Well, I think it stems from that deep connection people have with Lego. It's hands-on, it's imagination, it feels inherently human. Introducing an AI feels like it could disrupt that core experience.
But someone else pointed out, don't most people just buy sets and follow the instructions anyway? Where's the massive creativity in that?
That's a fair counterpoint.
Yeah.
A lot of the Lego experience is following pre-designed instructions. But the argument then becomes, well, those instructions, those sets, they're designed by actual people.
Right. Human designers with years of Lego experience trying things out.
Exactly. People who understand the bricks, the playability, the fun factor. The worry is, could AI design sets lack that? Could they feel a bit flat? Designed by, as one user put it, a soulless algorithm.
A soulless algorithm. Yeah, that captures the fear. But isn't it just a tool? Like CAD software for engineers. People can choose not to use it.
That's the argument for it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a tool. Use it if you want. But the counter worry is about maybe dependency. Does the ease of getting AI ideas make us less likely to push our own creative boundaries, make us a bit lazy?
Lazy? Yeah. Or just reliant. If the AI does the initial thinking, do we stop exercising that creative muscle ourselves?
That's the concern. Though on a lighter note, some Redditors joked it might just be good for, 10 minutes of original entertainment or making quick social media posts about Legos.
Okay, but think about this. Is following AI instructions really worse than following human-made instructions in a box?
On the surface, maybe not. You're still following steps.
Yeah.
But I think the perceived difference is the origin. People value the human touch, the perceived creativity behind the human-designed instructions.
And for a lot of Lego fans, the whole point is the figuring it out part, right? The struggle, the discovery.
Precisely. That sentiment came through really strongly, that AI might replace something fundamental unnecessarily. Someone said, Legos without human creativity, it's just a pile of colored plastic. That Legos are made to stimulate our intelligence.
Wow, that's powerful. Just a pile of colored plastic. Someone else even called AI for Lego disgusting because the whole point is building it yourself.
Yeah. Strong feelings. It shows how personal this is. Someone did compare it to CAD software, which has been around for ages in design. Maybe the reaction is stronger because AI feels less like a drafting tool and more like a creative agent.
Like it's trying to be the creator, not just assist.
Maybe. And that led to another concern someone raised. Teaching kids to rely on AI for creative prompts from a young age. What does that do long term?
Yeah, the next generation's relationship with creativity and tech. Okay, shifting gears, slightly practicality. Someone on Reddit did say, hey, if you have tons of bricks and no idea what to build.
Then AI could be useful. A starting point, exactly, to overcome that builder's block.
So it could help there. But again, does that take away the challenge, the fun of finding the idea yourself? Someone said finding your own design is a huge part of the fun.
It's that core tension again. Convenience versus the satisfaction of personal discovery. And related to that was the idea that AI designs might lack, well, soul.
Soul. Hard to program that. But could it maybe lower the barrier for people intimidated by Lego? People who think, I don't even know where to start.
That's a potential positive, definitely. An on-ramp for beginners, maybe? Giving them some initial guidance?
Or even for experienced builders who are like 90% done with something huge and just need ideas for the last few bits.
Potentially, yeah. The AI could suggest ways to use those remaining pieces, forcing some creative problem solving with constraints.
Okay, let's connect this to that broader study you mentioned, the one from Morocco, about AI and creativity generally. What did it find that relates here?
Well, it really highlighted this core duality we've been discussing. AI can amplify human creativity, offer new tools, new perspectives, but there's also a real risk of de-skilling, losing essential human abilities if we rely too much on the tech.
So practical benefits versus the potential loss of originality and skill.
Exactly. The study stressed the need to preserve human skills, maybe through education, focusing on co-creation with AI rather than replacement, and having ethical guidelines. It talked about the risk of cognitive dependency, reduced original thought.
Which maps directly onto the Lego concerns, losing that problem-solving aspect, relying too much on AI suggestions.
Precisely. The study emphasized keeping human intuition and sort of experiential creativity in the loop, even as AI gets more integrated.
Okay, so wrapping this up. It feels like AI in the Lego space offers some genuinely exciting possibilities. New designs, help with existing bricks.
For sure. Lots of potential. But alongside that, there are these really valid concerns about what it means for human creativity, for the core fun of building, for that sense of personal achievement.
It's a powerful tool, but we need to be, I guess, mindful about how it changes the experience.
Absolutely. It could reshape Lego play, but we need to think about its influence on imagination and that fundamental value of creative exploration.
And with tools like Lego GPT just out there, available, it really makes you think, doesn't it? Does this fundamentally alter our relationship with creative play? And what does that signal for, future generations of builders? Definitely something to mull over.
The big question.
This has been a really interesting deep dive. If you enjoyed this conversation, definitely check out Le Podcast de Philippe.
And if you want more discussions like this, please do help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. We'd really appreciate it.